External validation feels great. Do you want that too? Do you want others to validate you? Do you want to feel like you're seen? If so, this video is for you. This is Christy. I'm here to impact, not impress. Ever since I started YouTube, my main goal was to add value, was to have an impact. I started off posting once a week. Then I decided to do the 7-day challenge because I felt like I needed to have momentum, I needed to grow faster, and I needed to learn more. Then I finally decided that posting 3 times a week is good enough for me. Now, this has been challenging, but we'll talk about this a little more later. The point is, I felt like the more I post, the more value I add. And the more value I give to people, the more they're gonna like and accept me. Do you feel this way too? But here's the crazy thing. I've never been a people pleaser. I've never bent over backwards to please everyone. I knew better than that because you know what? I understand that no one can please everyone. So I've always been true to myself. I mean, I can't be anyone else but me. Authenticity, right? But then I started YouTube. Then reality hit, and so did the need for external validation. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Who doesn't? So I did start getting momentum, and people were watching, liking, and some were commenting and subscribing. And that felt great. It felt like, yes, I've got this. I've got this YouTube thing. It's a piece of cake. But when validation stopped, or should I say slowed down, when the views were fluctuating, and we all know this is normal on YouTube, but it's one thing to know it, it's another thing to live it. It hurts. It gets to you. And then I started questioning myself. Wait, what am I doing wrong? Do I even know what I'm doing? Well, let me get this straight. I'm not here chasing external validation. That's not why I started YouTube. It's just that I like it when people feel what I'm saying, when they can relate to it, when they say, yes, I feel that. I know exactly what you're talking about. After all, that's what I'm here for, the impact, the connection. Because when you don't get that, you feel like you're talking to yourself. You're talking into the void. Because my whole point of being on YouTube is to reach out, to be relatable, and to have an impact. And how do you have an impact if you're not reaching the right people? Who feels me? So validation was never really my goal, but it kind of became like a thermometer to assess whether I'm doing the right things or not, whether I'm succeeding or not. It became a measure to my success. And here's where it hit the hardest. There were days where I would spend hours scripting, filming, editing, pouring my heart out, so much energy, so much authenticity, because I thought people needed to hear this. People wanted to hear this, only to hit publish and have nothing but crickets, at least for the first few hours. No comments, no likes, barely any views, no feedback. And the best part, when you get a few videos in a row that do get higher views than you usually get, you think that you got it. You think that you're good now. You cracked the code, right? And then down we go again. You continue posting, but you're not getting the same success. So you're not getting views, you're barely getting views or any engagement. And that's a real downer. It's hard to handle. We all know that YouTube is a roller coaster. There's ups and downs. We all know that it fluctuates, but it's one thing to know it. It's a complete different thing to live through it, especially when you're pouring your heart out and you're putting so much energy and you're behind on everything else in life just because YouTube has been your priority. It cuts, it hurts, and it also affects your energy, your will to continue. Even though I've told myself since the beginning, I'm creating for purpose, not for praise. But when you start going through this, it becomes a different ballgame because you put a lot of effort into this. We put a lot of effort in YouTube. Anyone who creates videos on YouTube, you know what I mean. You know how much work goes into this, especially as a beginner. You have so much to learn, so much to get used to. Because here's the truth, it's really hard to create and put yourself out there and still feel unseen. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you feel this way as well when your videos don't do well? Especially when you've put in a lot of effort. And that's when I get stuck in my own head. I start second guessing myself. I overthink everything. And I start thinking, my niche. It must be my niche. Is it too weird? Is it too boring? Too lame? Too specific maybe? I don't know. Are people even interested in it? Do people even want to watch this type of content? After all, I'm not just creating this to express myself or just as a hobby, although I love it. Remember, I want impact. I want to have impact. How do I have impact if I'm unseen or if I don't have the reach? And let me tell you, that confusion turns into a full-blown creative paralysis. Yes, I get a complete block, brain block. I couldn't figure out what to post next. What is my next video? Are people going to be interested in it? So I got lost in the analysis and I can't find validation for the topics that I'm interested in. It's like I'm so unique that no one else feels like I do and no one else has the same needs as me. No one is this unique. I'm very well aware of that. Believe me, when you get to this point, it's a recipe to brain blockage, complete blockage. It kills your creativity because, they say, check your analytics. Check on your videos, see what did very well, exceptionally well for your channel. They also say copy what's been proven to work on YouTube. In other words, take someone else's concept or the idea or a title of a video that went viral, a video that got a lot of views, what they call an outlier. But don't copy that video. Don't copy the title. Get inspired, use a similar title, apply it to your niche, and go for it. In other words, copy what's proven to work, but don't be a copycat. Don't be original, but be yourself. How do you take someone else's idea, someone else's concept, and still be yourself if it's not you? Granted, we should take the ideas and apply them to our niche and to our concepts. So all this is easy on paper, but when it comes to implementing it, it's a different story. But of course, let's not forget that everything needs practice. YouTube needs a lot of practice because there's a lot to learn, and practice makes perfect. Well, there's no such thing as perfect, but you know what I mean. So, who feels this way? Let me know in the comments. Let's share our experiences. Let's encourage each other. And here's the worst part. I only have about 2 hours a day to work on YouTube, 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. So I have very limited time. So whenever something unexpected comes up, it ruins my plan. It destroys everything. And I'm supposed to post 3 times a week, but lately, the past couple of weeks, I've been skipping Fridays. Why? Because something unexpected comes up on Fridays and I can't film or I can't edit and post my videos. So if I'm not a people pleaser, which I'm not, why do I care so much about getting likes, comments, views, and all that? Let me tell you why. I became what's called a validation watcher. What does that mean? I was letting feedback dictate my next move. I was letting feedback dictate my journey on YouTube. Look, we all know that there's so much noise in social media and YouTube. There's so much going on, so many gurus, so many tips and tricks to grow, what to do, what not to do. With all of that, what to do, what not to do, some things work, other things don't work. So when my numbers were higher, I was happy, I was motivated, and I really wanted to do more. And when the numbers dipped, I get discouraged. And today in particular, I had to fight with myself to actually sit down and start filming. The thing with me is, which is something I love, when I start filming, I really get into it. And this is actually the actual process of doing. The filming gives me energy and motivates me. It's like there's a switch that goes on when I'm filming, and it seriously improves my mood. But let's be honest, feeding off of external validation is not a good way to create something and have a meaningful and sustainable journey on YouTube. It's going to be very exhausting and it's going to be moody. Now, I still love encouragement. I'm not a robot. I have feelings. But here's the shift. At this point, I try to create content that I believe matters, that I believe will have impacts, even when no one is clapping, even if it takes time, even when the video is not getting good reach. I've realized external validation feels great, but it's not reliable. This is not a way to lead your journey on YouTube. But this doesn't mean that I don't want to advance and with my YouTube, and this definitely doesn't mean that I don't want to create what people want to watch or are interested in. So here's what I've learned so far at this point. I can't control who watches, who likes, who subscribes, who comments or not, but I can certainly control what I do and how I show up and the energy that I'm giving off while I'm filming or in my videos. And the moment that I stopped chasing external validation and I stopped allowing it to dictate my next move and started honoring my own voice, things began to shift. It feels better. It's a weight off my shoulders, but it's not an overnight change. It wasn't and it will never be. I still go through it. I still struggle with that, but I don't allow it to dictate me anymore. And I started showing up with more peace because I know that if this video doesn't perform, the next one will, or the next one, or the 10th one, or the 100th one. It's never too late. And we never know when we're going to have that one video that is going to perform like we want, that one video that is going to have the reach that we never got before. Because you know what? I'm not performing. I'm just being me. And I'm sharing what I feel is valuable and is needed for the people who are like me. I know I'm not that unique. So there must be others like me that are in need for this kind of content. And because I'm being me, that gives me peace. And that's where my energy is coming from just being me. And when you're being you, you're not performing. So it comes more naturally. And because it's natural, it feels good to me and hopefully to you. So maybe you're like me, not a people pleaser, but you still like kind words, encouraging words. And that's great. But remember, that's not the reason why you're here on YouTube or on social media. Again, we go back to the why. Remember your why. Concentrate on that. Stick to that. And if you need to adjust it or modify it, that's okay. If we have a niche, that doesn't mean that we're stuck with it forever. There's always space to modify, to pivot if you feel like it's not working, or if you don't feel your niche anymore, it's not coming from your inside anymore. So I'm here to be real, to say the truth as I see it, from my perspective, from my experience, to be as raw as possible with the limited time that you have to spend with me. I'm here to impact, not to impress. What about you? So I know that impact takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. Do I want to succeed on YouTube? Absolutely. Do I want to have the maximum amount of reach possible? Yes, definitely. But I don't want to lose myself in the process. I can't lose track of my why and of what brought me to YouTube in the first place. So yeah, external validation is great. We're human, we're all like that. All right, but look at it as a bonus, not as your fuel, not as your motivator. If this message landed for you, drop a me too in the comments and tell us all about it. Tell me what resonated the most with you. Tell me how you deal with your need for external validation, or maybe you don't need it. That's awesome. I applaud you. I'm still working on that. And subscribe if you're into honest, raw content, especially for women or for men who are trying to step out of their comfort zone. We're not here to chase claps. We're here to create an impact. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.